Well, Mookie, thank you so much for taking some time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's talk a little bit about the Dodgers, but we want to go big picture here because I think for you and your career, having arrived with the Dodgers in 2020, I'm not asking you to reflect as if your time there is over and you have many years with the deal. I know a lot left you want to accomplish, but as you've seen this team and this operation, this organization ascend to these levels that we really haven't seen from teams in the past in terms of the way they're perceived, the way they're treated, the way they're covered. How do you like welcome someone into that world? I know you guys just got someone in the trade deadline. Like, how do you kind of maintain as one of the leaders of this team
Yeah.
to treat it as if it's any other team, even though let's be honest, it's not really any other team.
I mean, it's just that you just kind of let them go through their experience. Because everybody's going to take it differently. And being a Dodger has been a beautiful thing. All the stuff off the field, all the opportunity and whatnot, is amazing. And then obviously, the product that we put on the field is amazing as well. But there's a lot of really good products on the field right now, man. There's a lot of really good teams out there, and so we're no better than the next team, right? There's teams that have been playing better, and so that it's the baseball aspect is one thing that it's a very level playing field, but the off the field stuff, the opportunities and whatnot, that's where I think being a Dodger definitely kind of ascends to the top.
But like between the lines, it's ball, right?
It's ball. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's me, Shohei, or whoever, or the next person, right?
Yeah.
It's ball. It's ball, and you got to play. That's what's going to prove who wins.
I can imagine if you're coming into that and you're looking around, it's like, he's going to be in Cooperstown. Like, he has more money than God. Like, he's on every billboard in America. Like, that can be intimidating for someone coming into that a little bit, right? Have you seen that at all?
I would say so. I have a lot, especially the young guys. They come up, and I think it's a little I don't know if overwhelming is the right word, but you come in and you look and you see all these guys, and you're like, wow, I'm getting to play with all these guys. Which I'm sure is really cool. I know I was talking to Call the other day when Shohei was pitching. I think he gave up a leadoff homer or something, and then this is when I was leading off, and I got a base hit, and then Shohei had a two-run homer in the first inning. And it's just amazing to know that this guy just walked off the mound, hit a home run. He's about to go back on the mound. It's like stuff like that. Even for me, I've been playing. This is my first time seeing Shohei do both.
Like, do you get to appreciate that you're witnessing baseball history in the moment while you're watching it? Because obviously, like for us, when we watch this thing that is the Dodgers, it's history in the making. Like, do you get opportunities to kind of take a breath? Does that happen in 15 years? Does that happen in the winter? Or does that not happen at all? I'm curious.
I mean, I feel like I'm doing my best to try and appreciate it now, because there is no better moment than now. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that happens later. I think when you're in the grind and you're in it, you once you turn your brain off to go appreciate something, it's hard to turn it back on. And so you really have to just try and keep your brain on, and obviously not super intense and whatnot. You try and enjoy what you can, but you really have to try and stay on as much as possible, just because the game is so unpredictable and so many things go on that you have to just stay ready.
Our last question here on the field that I'm curious about with your season in particular. Obviously, you've been very honest about self-assessment of how you've been doing at the plate. Certainly looking a lot better lately. But then this move to shortstop, a lot going on that's very different. Some things I'm sure you're very proud of. Some things I'm sure you're very frustrated in. You've been very honest about the perspective that this season has kind of given you. What does that mean? How does that manifest on a day-to-day basis in a way that you're going about your day that maybe you weren't 2 years ago or 3 years ago or earlier in your career with the Red Sox?
Going through this year and looking up and seeing that you're nowhere near on track for your goal. It's disheartening. It really sucks, especially when your whole career you've gotten pretty close to your goals. Sometimes you've exceeded your goals.
Yeah. And the results are in your face every single moment you step.
Every single day. I mean, every reporter's asking, it's all the time. And so It really has taken me just to try and just win today. Do whatever you can to win today. You may be 0 for 4, but maybe you had a sack fly for an RBI that helped. Maybe you made a nice play in defense or whatever that'll help. And since I've changed my mindset to that, it really has helped me get through every day. Just because I mean, I look up and I see 230, and it's hard. It really is hard. I've never had to do that. You know, I'm going through stuff now that I've never had to go through in my entire life, like ever. And so I don't know how to get out of this. You know, I don't know how to. And so the only thing that I can control is really just trying to help the guys win every day. And if I can do that, then I mean, at least I can go to sleep at night.
I imagine there is also probably something that's a little freeing about that in a way.
For sure. Definitely, because you don't worry about the over 4. Like, I mean, I've been doing that the whole time. But at least this over 4, I moved the guy over, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
And as you mentioned, you win, you're happy. I mean, that's it. In some ways, that is going to be that simple, which I really appreciate that perspective and that honesty.
We, in many ways, cannot relate to your life. One thing that we do have in common is podcasting. You have been doing your show now for a couple of years. You've interviewed some of the biggest stars in our sport. And I'm curious, now that you've had like time to kind of look back on all the people you've had on and all the people you've talked to and those conversations that you've had, like, what have you learned from that experience, having those chats with some of the biggest names in our sport?
Obviously, everybody's a normal person, right? They all have normal things going on. But really, just that the bond in baseball is we all have similar lives in some way, form, or fashion, right? We all have other things that we love doing. We all have just some passion. We love our families. It's just we all are essentially very similar. And you would think that guys from Dominican, Cuba, Texas, Boston, wherever, right, we'd have completely different things, completely different views on life and whatnot. But a lot of it's the same, right? We all kind of went through the gauntlet the same way. And I think going through minor leagues and summer ball and all these type of things kind of shapes and molds us into very similar people. And then you just get here and you get to the big leagues and there's only 750 of us. And out of all these people, 750 guys are probably going to be very similar in some way, form, or fashion. And I really have loved talking to guys and really kind of seeing what gets them going. And it's very similar to the things that kind of gets me going.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。